We all know the quiet, gnawing discomfort of being on the outside of a tight-knit group. When we enter a new environment, our instinct is to watch the people who already belong, figure out what they value, and mimic their behavior. We do this to signal that we are safe and to earn our place in the inner circle. That instinct becomes a fatal vulnerability in the presence of a corrupt inner circle. A clever manipulator can spot an outsider's desire to fit in and rig the social rules so that the newcomer willingly walks into a trap. The Panchatantra is a brutal training manual for survival in royal courts. Written in Sanskrit 2,000 years ago, it taught princes to navigate lethal politics. It uses animal archetypes as political players, dissecting cutthroat social maneuvers with clinical precision. These stories offer a masterclass in dark psychology. They demonstrate exactly how seasoned manipulators isolate a target, build a false sense of security, and weaponize the victim's own social pressure against them. The story sets the stage in a jungle court. At the top of the hierarchy is King Madokata, a lion who wields absolute power. He is surrounded by an exclusive inner circle of predators, a leopard, a crow, and a jackal. When a lost grass-eating camel stumbles into this territory, the predators want to eat him immediately, but the lion intervenes. He claims the camel as a royal guest and issues an absolute vow of physical protection. Protected by the king's decree, the camel relaxes. He grazes freely alongside the predators, experiencing a psychological shift. He begins to mistake his temporary, rule-based safety for genuine acceptance, believing he is now an equal member of the court. Then the power dynamic collapses. The lion is severely wounded in a brutal fight with a rogue elephant. His injuries are so extensive that he can no longer take a single step, leaving him entirely incapable of hunting. The court grinds to a halt. The predators, completely dependent on the lion for scraps, begin to starve. They beg the king to let them eat the camel, but the lion is constrained by his own royal word. He strictly refuses to break his vow of protection. This is where the jackal executes a strategic pivot. If the king's moral code prevents him from killing the guest by force, the jackal realizes they have to find a loophole. The camel has to offer his life voluntarily. Seasoned manipulators operate within the established rules of their hierarchy, identifying the target's desire for acceptance and turning it into a mechanism for their own destruction. The jackal returns to the starving lion and the rest of the court to orchestrate a highly theatrical performance. He intends to use peer pressure to corner the camel. The performance begins with the crow. He steps forward and loudly offers his own life to feed the starving king. The lion, following the jackal's hidden script, rejects the offer, stating the bird is simply too small to make a difference. Next, the jackal steps up and makes the exact same ultimate sacrifice. Again, the lion shakes his head, rejecting the offer because eating a fellow carnivore crosses an unspoken line. This diagram shows the mechanics of the trap. The jackal and Kull are using a concept we now call social proof. They have constructed a rigged demonstration where they appear to be making the ultimate sacrifice, gaining total social approval, while carrying exactly zero actual risk. The camel is watching all of this play out. But as an outsider, he doesn't know the unwritten rules of the carnivore's in-group. He only sees the public praise they are receiving. The camel calculates that if he mimics the exact behavior of the inner circle, he will get the exact same result. He assumes he will be rejected for his noble offer, and his status as a loyal insider will be permanently secured. Wanting to prove he belongs, the camel steps out of the safety of the king's protection. He bows before the starving lion and formally offers his own flesh. The offer is instantly accepted. The lion strikes, and the entire court immediately swarms the camel, devouring him on the spot. The camel's desire for status provided the jackal with the perfect weapon to bypass the king's vow. The social pressure of the court accomplished what physical hunger could not. The jackal committed no physical violence to spring this trap. He simply built a psychological door, decorated it with the illusion of prestige, and convinced the camel that it was a profound honor to walk through it. This is why the Panchatantra ends the story with a clear directive. Always remain on guard in the company of wicked people, and do not be taken in by their sweet words. Imagine a newcomer joining a high-stakes professional team. They observe the veterans performing public displays of loyalty, working extreme hours, or taking visible risks. The veterans have the political capital to survive a failure. The newcomer tries to mirror that same level of sacrifice to prove they are part of the family, only to find they lack the same immunity when things go wrong. Surviving a toxic environment requires you to read the room for what it actually is, not what you want it to be. Blindly mimicking the sacrifices of a tight-knit group to earn their favor is a dangerous game. If you are an outsider, bad actors will gladly build you a pedestal of loyalty. They will cheer for you as you climb up, knowing full well it is a trapdoor designed to drop you the moment you are no longer useful.